So this is the talk that we have prepared for this event. So yeah, so the talk is named basically Paul can do DevOps and better you can than you can think. So this is a real world example that we have implemented in one of the uh, company that my brother works at, which is Bank of America. So this presentation basically introduces a lightweight script written in Perl, which basically monitors the Kubernetes pod statuses and sends if there is a pod failure or something, some error, then it alerts in real time. It sends us emails, notifications, Slack messages, and different alert mechanisms. So we have written this script, and it is fully implemented in the bank, and it's like helping a lot these days to many different teams in our company, and it is also saving a lot of money for our company. Like if we went to market and bought a enterprise solution, that would have cost like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So with this simple solution, we were able to implement and save lots of money. So this is our talk about. So basically, uh, so here's our intro. Here is me, Nihar. I work for Amazon. I'm a cloud DevOps engineer. So I majorly work on cloud solutions, and also in the free time I write automation scripts and other things. So that's pretty much about me. Nikhil, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, hi, my name is Nikhil. So I'm a lead DevOps engineer in the Bank of America. So usually I work on DevOps and Kubernetes and automation scripts. Yeah, and research articles, something about that. Yeah.
Awesome. So this automation that we wrote, it's basically like it's very simple, and we the prerequisites that are needed is like you basically need to have the Perl installed and a few modules like SMTP module, because you want to. So we have used our in the bank we had a larger setup, but for these demo purposes we have set up a similar small setup which basically sends an email to our Gmail. So for that, we needed a SMTP module. So we just need to download that dependency. And for the Kubernetes setup, we basically had a Minikube setup in our local. So we will use that Minikube for the demo purposes. Basically, for the email configuration, we will be using the Gmail app password and the SMTP server access. So these are the basic prerequisites that are needed for this demo. But in the bank, instead of Minikube, we were using Kubernetes. But yeah, that is not related here. But yeah, these are the prerequisites. And so these are the patterns that we are currently monitoring with this script. So basically, the Perl script will keep monitoring the pods, and it will detect for these statuses, crash, loopback, stuck states, image issues like image pullback of or error field, such scenarios. We can extend these, but these are the four major statuses that we tend to monitor at our bank, and these are the ones that we are looking, and this is where the Perl script checks the pods for these statuses. So why we created this? So the problem was basically like we had lots of pods running in my brother's bank environment, and they fail silently without any alerts, and it can cause a lot of headache to the bank. So we don't have a full monitoring solution. If you want to get a monitoring solution to monitor the pods, we need to buy some enterprise product which costs us like hundreds of thousands, and bank was not ready to pay for such monitoring at this time. So that's why we wanted to implement a simplified solution. So that's where to solve this problem, we bought this. We implemented this project. So a real world example is basically at my bank. A pod was failing on Friday evening, and it went undetected for until Monday, and because of that, there were many missing reports, and due to that, we had some high level escalation. So there was some loss of revenue as well because of the critical system downtime. So to address that situation, we implemented this script, which is a 5 minute cron job in the bank. We I mean, it's in the bank. It keeps running the Perl script in the background. It runs as a process that keeps checking these pods and looking for these statuses. And as soon as there is any pod failure detected, it sends us the alert so that we can go and monitor. So that is a real world example, and this solution actually placed heavily by our management because There was not much of setup required and not much of money involved. It was very simple and easy to manage, so it was highly praised in our company. So the script, talking about the Perl script, this is the overview of the script. Like we configure the email settings, then we retrieve the pod statuses that we showed in the previous slide, and after the script detects the pods, it will send an alert via email. So in this example, we are using Amal email via Gmail, but in our bank we use different alerting mechanisms like email, Slack, um, uh, different channels we use to get us alerted. So this is the Perl script implementation. And so this is the Kubernetes pod deployment that we need. First, for this example, I created a 3pod.yaml, which basically is like we are defining 3 pods in here, which are basically Nginx pods, and we are running these pods. So if you see here, I wrote the script, and then I just start minikube, and then I run this command, which is like kubectl apply. It will apply this YAML file, and as you see here, there are 3 pods. Two are running and one is in error state. This can be either be in error state, or this can be in crash loopback or image pool error. It can be of any error. So we are monitoring for the status of these pods, and if we detect any pattern that we mentioned in the script other than running, then it will trigger us. So this is pods that are running right now, and after that you see we have a Perl script, which is podalert.pl, and it is purely written in Perl, and it's very minimal, and but the advantage of it very high. So once I run it, it checks the pods, it monitors the pods that are running, and if there is any pod that is having a different status other than running, it detects that and it sends the email. As you see here, this is another screenshot from my email, which basically alerting us that there is a pod failure, and this is the reason, and when it was failing. So that's how it the pod and sends us the email. So how we run, basically we deploy the pods as I showed you previously, 3 pods, then we run the Perl script. But in the bank it was different. Like we have pods running, we have this Perl script running as a service, so that keeps running in the back end, and as soon as the pod is failure is detected, this Perl script will alert us by sending an email or alert or something like that. So that's how this Perl script was implemented. So so let me show you the script in the scripts, actually what I'm talking about. So this is the GitHub repo, and this is the uh, concept that we use. So here you see these are the things. So 3 pods, and then they use this for the SMTP alerting, and then we run the Perl script like this, and these are the things how it detects. So if I show you the Perl script to be exact, like this is the Perl script that I have written, which is very easy to write and easy to understand. So basically I start with Perl, and I define the email and then the configuration of that, and then the conditions. So these are the requisites that I need to check, like whether this kubectl minikube are running on a cluster is accessible or not, and then I formulate my email body, and then I check the pod status here, which is a function over here written in Perl. So it basically checks for the statuses that I mentioned. Like in here you see error, image pullback of pending, terminating, all this. So we can include and we can customize and make it more advanced, but for our use case this was sufficient, so we use this. So then after the checking the all this, it will detect the parts, and it will send us the alert. We can run it, so this keeps running continuously and alerts us. So this is the Perl script, which is like how much 150 lines basically, but very easy to manage and handle. So that's the script that we used. So talking about the benefits. If you see, these are the benefits that I can talk about. It's very lightweight, so you don't need to install like a high dependencies, or you don't need to install like a Prometheus or different monitoring tools or enterprise solutions for this work. You can just basically start with the script and use it. No work involved, no cost involved. It's very lightweight. It's very scalable. You can expand it as per your needs. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Thanks for pointing out. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, these are the benefits that I can talk about. Like it's lightweight, scalable, and flexible. It's easy to deploy. You don't need much setup. So these are the some of the things that we monitor in the bank. I just put the screenshot over here. And these are the additional things that we can enhance this script, like you can add a HTML email formatting and metrics collection. Right now we have a email which is HTML format that gets sent to our bank emails. It's fully HTML format. If you got it out, you can filter it out. But for this purpose, this demo purpose, I have not written that, but we have that already. And integration, you can set it to Slack or Mattermost or SMS. Right now we have set up it for Slack, Mattermost, and also like Gmail. But you can customize it, enhance it as per your needs. Um, and you can also add the filtering for your pods. Like your pods may be having labels like a networking or different, like it can have different labels, right, based on the teams or domains or something. So you can just look for the pods that you want to track. You don't need to track all the hundreds or thousands of pods running in your company. You just filter them by the labels. So you can add that functionality as well to this script. So these are the some of the improvements that we thought of improving our script going forward. So yeah, those are the advantages. So yeah, most interesting question, like why we went with Perl and why not Python or any other major languages. So yeah, Python is one of the easy to write language, but it has some drawbacks. One of the drawback I would say is like text processing excellence. Perl excels in the text processing. Like it has a mature ecosystem for the processing and the parsing of the things. So that's why I tried with Python, but it was not that much easy, and it was not that much time. It was taking some time compared to what when I was using Perl when I ran my simulations. So that's when I thought Perl is better than other languages for this implementation. So I used Perl, and as mentioned, there were no dependencies, minimal to minimal dependencies needed for SMTP modules, and some few other things, but very minimal. And yeah, it can be easily integrated with Perl. You can easily write and integrate with kubectl and different tools. And you can also use this for enterprise compatibility. Like in your company you might have like different OSs like Red Hat Linux and different Linuxes, and all come with the Perl pre-installed. So you don't need to add or install any extra modules to have that running. If you want to run Prometheus or something, you need to download that package, you need to install it, and it's very complex and takes a lot of time. But Perl, no, it's already there. So you just use it. You just have a script, you write it, and you use it, and you connect it, and it will give you the alert. So yeah, these are the advantages that we thought that Perl matures and advantages compared to other languages, even Python. So yeah, that's one of those are the those are the reasons why we choose Perl over different languages. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you want, I can quickly show you a demo like how this works. So this is a pod alert.pl. This is the script, and these are the three pods running in the script. So I just come here and I just do minikube status. This is all my local setup. So I'm just using it for this demo purpose. So uh, yeah, so I just do minikube start, and it basically spins up a Kubernetes, like lightweight Kubernetes cluster on my local machine. And once that is done, I can demo the Perl script in action. Just give it a second. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Docker is like a lightweight containerized system. So you run your applications in a host, right? A virtual host or virtual machines. Instead of that, you can use a Dockerize your application such that you can write, so if you are running a virtual machines and you're running your application on a virtual machine, that entirely takes up the virtual machine. So you cannot run like a multi OS kind of applications like, but if you are using Docker, you can use one VM and you can run multi OS applications. Like you can have one application running on Linux, you can have one application running on Windows. So for that's where the Docker comes into play. In virtual machines, you have a hypervisor. In here, we have Dockerized hypervisor, so that way Docker is helpful. Kubernetes is basically like it's basically containers management platform. When you run your images, when you create your Docker images and run containers, and if you have hundreds of containers, then it becomes bit troublesome to manage all those containers. That's where the Kubernetes comes into play. Kubernetes is like a managed platform. Like use Kubernetes to manage the containers. It makes it easy to manage all these containers and stuff. So this is Google uses this a lot, Kubernetes product, and these days it's very famous. And many of the companies run their application as a Kubernetes containerized workloads. So yeah, that's pretty much about what Kubernetes is. Whereas Minikube is basically a simple version of Kubernetes, that cluster that you can set up on your local. You don't need any extra. Like if you want a Kubernetes cluster, you need to buy something like enterprise version. Like different companies sell those products like OpenShift Kubernetes. Then Amazon, they have EKS, and Rancher, they have RKS. So different Kubernetes clusters are provided by different vendors. But if you just want to test the Kubernetes, play around with it, Minikube is the lightweight one that you can pull from open source and run it locally. So as you can see here, if you see here, if I run Minikube status, it's up now. It started now, so I can check the status, and it will give me like it's running. All these components are running, which are needed for Minikube. So now, since it's running, I just come here and I just apply uh, the pods, three pods.yaml that I previously mentioned. So before applying that, let me show you if there are any pods. So there are no pods. Pods meaning like a lightweight uh, application thing that is running. Like your application, you can run your application in multiple pods. Pods are like nodes. I mean, it's not node, but you can have pods to. It's a copy. It's a copy. Okay, so you have your one copy, two copy. You can have multiple copies. So right now there are no pods. So once I come here and I just apply my Kubernetes 3pod.yaml, it will spin up pods. I will show you that 1 second. So this is the file which I'm applying. Okay, okay, it's changed. So 3 dash pods.yaml. So yeah, it created me three pods now. So if I run now Kubernetes get pods, you see that I have two pods which are in running state and good and running. These are Nginx pods, okay. And there is one pod which is set to be failing intentionally, that we defined in the script to fail. So that's showing the error status. Shit. Okay, sorry. So yeah, so it's two are running and one is failing. Now the next step I would do is basically come here and I apply my I just run my Perl script, and it will detect the failure, which is this one, Perl. Oh no, not this one. So it's called pod alert.pl. So we're just playing around with this. So don't mind, yeah. So yeah, this is the script pod alert.pl. If I run this, uh, it just basically checks for the all status of these containers or pods, and it just sends the alert. So if you see here, detected that one pod is failing, and it's sending me an email. So if I come to my Gmail, I can show you like there should have been an email sent already. Okay, this is my Gmail. Yeah, you see here it's like 1:36 p.m. right now, 1:36, and a pod detection has been detected, and it sent me an email. Likewise, we have implemented this in our company, and it currently sends alerts via Slack, via Gmail, and different tools that we use internally. Yeah, so that's pretty much the uh, that's pretty much the workflow of this thing. Um, Demo. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys, about the talk. So yeah, if you have any question, just feel free to ask. Yeah, yeah,
In order to pay for a commercial product to keep track of all of the containers, it would cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars.
yes,
So at your job, you used Perl to implement something that is very similar to what you have just showed us.
correct.
It
Yeah,
will
that's
keep,
correct.
it will keep track of all of these containers and alert you if there is an issue.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, and in your version that you've shown us here, it does not infringe on any of the intellectual property or source code from your job because you have rewritten it all from scratch.
No, there is nothing. Yeah, I didn't do anything from scratch for this thing.
Okay, great. And the main difference is that the demo that you showed us today is using email, and the one at your work is using a chat bot or something like that.
Yeah, in the company we use email, Slack, and different alerting mechanisms and communication methods. But for this demo, I just use Gmail. Yeah.
Okay, so in other words, you could use any communication methods that you like. It's not just email, it's pretty much anything.
Correct. Yeah, we already tested it on our company, and we were able to use Slack and Mattermost and different other tools. Yeah, it was very easy to integrate, and it saved us lots of money. Like if you're going to the market and if you're trying to buy a solution, like monitoring solution for these pods, you would pay like hundreds of thousands of dollars if you want to get a license for those private products like Prometheus, Grafana, or different tools. So whereas this one, nothing. You have zero cost. You just need an employee to write the script and boom, you are done.
Well, my follow-up question is, do you believe that this Perl solution could be used in other commercial applications for other companies or customers?
Yeah, they can implement a similar kind of approach. It's not very complex. It's just they need to know a basic writing of Perl. That's all they need, and it's very easy to implement. Yeah, we cannot like open source our code that we have written for the company, but I'm also working on writing some product like a small kind of tool or open source package to implement this solution so others can leverage this.
Okay, great. Well, I'm very excited, and I actually think that this could potentially be a Perl project that could be launched as a new startup company or a commercial support for others that don't want to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yep, definitely.
It could say, I mean, you could charge 10,000 or 20,000, and then they would save a ton of money, and you would make a profit as well. So that's a potential idea to think of for your own selves, and I would love to help you with that, and I'm guessing there are probably many other Perl programmers who would love to be able to get a job working on a successful project like that as well. So, in your opinion, what would need to be completed in order to use your current open source software as a viable commercial solution? What
Yeah, I mean,
remains?
yeah, especially in the basic strategy. I mean, for the bank, we implemented it fully and it's already in use. But to make it open source, I think we need to add more custom enhancements and maybe write it as a package or something. I don't know. I have not explored that, but I'm thinking on it. So yeah.
Well, I will be happy to help you to get your code on CPAN and to create packages for operating systems. And even I believe Brett is working on making packages for Microsoft as well. So
Awesome.
there are different options that, and I know how to make packages for Linux. So we certainly have a few options in that realm, and if it truly is something that could save people that much money, then I think it's worth exploring.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, great. Well, my last question would be, if you could magically add any feature that you like, without having to actually do it yourself, like if I was going to do it for you and you could just say what you wanted to do, then what would that be? Any feature you could have in your software.
Yeah, I mean, right now it doesn't have the open source one that I have written. It doesn't have the integrations with Slack and other different communication methods. So if those are also getting added, then it will be easy to use and helpful. Yeah.
Okay, all right, great. Well, I do know that there is a Slack block kit package on CPAN distribution. I've not used it myself, but I've been running my code analysis lately, and it's one of the most recent releases on CPAN. So that's why I've been seeing it a lot lately.
Okay.
So that could be worth. I believe that Block Kit is Slack's plugin architecture or something along those lines. It's. Are you familiar with Block Kit? Have you heard of it before?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Neither am I, because I've never used Slack before. But from what I understand, it's used to build Slack plugins. So anyway, I don't know if that is actually related to integrating with Slack in any way, but it's the only thing that I happen to think of related to Perl and Slack, because I've seen it. It's brand new code that's just come out in the last few days. So
Okay.
that
Check it out.
you should definitely check it out. I don't know if it is what you need, but it might be.
Okay.
So, so yeah, that's definitely worth looking into. Okay, we can open it up for anyone else that may have any other questions, either online or in person at this time. Going once, going twice. You can unmute yourself if you have anything online that you would like to ask a question about, or type it in if you'd like. Okay, well, my last final question is, what is your, I know you showed it briefly, but what is your GitLab repo so that people can check out your code if they want to? Is it a private repo or is it a public repo?
Yeah, right now it's a public private repo, but I can make it public so that others can also check it out. And yeah.
Where will it be when you make it public? What's your username or whatnot?
Yeah, I will share that. I'll put that in the chat so that.
Okay, great. Go ahead and chat, put it in the chat, and I'll bring it up so everyone can see it here real quick.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, github.com/KaranNikhil99/Perl-conference. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay, so yes, everyone, please check out this code if you are using Kubernetes or Docker containers and you want to be able to keep track of them and get some notifications when things go wrong, which they always do. They always do. Actually, I have thought of one more interesting question. I know that I'm full of questions. I'm sorry. What is the biggest error that you were able to catch using Perl at your job so far?
I mean, the errors are like many that come up in different pods that we have hundreds of or thousands of pods. So it's not human easy to go and find and check the pods. So this using the script, it's basically looks at all pods in real time and only sends the status of the failed pod. So that's one of the major things that it keeps looking continuously monitoring and alerting us right away. So that's a major thing, and it saves a lot of actually a lot of incidents were saved because of this. Or else if we are not known what parts are failing or where we are having impact, then it becomes hard. So this is saving us from a lot of incidents and CRQs and so high critical incidents here.
Okay, so in other words, it has helped you find major problems before.
Yes.
So you could safely say that Perl is causing you to find and be able to solve huge, expensive problems.
That's true. Yeah, Perl has its own advantages, and it cannot be replaced. And you can use it. You can still use it and leverage it for many different processing. It has a very wide range of processing capabilities, and you just need to use it in the right way so that it can fit your needs. But if you use it, and you will easily feel the benefits of it. So that's what happened with us, and our company is using it widely right now because of our exploration. So yeah.
Well, that's really great, and I've got to say that it's wonderful every time we can hear about Perl solving huge problems like this, saving tons of money like this, and being a superior solution over Python, the much reviled and hated snake language. Boo! Yes! That's the snake. Okay, all right. Let's have a round of applause for Nihar Nikhil. Great job, guys. I love this. I love it, and you guys are, hey, let's